In September 2002, ASO to explore Africa as well as race through it. Every little effort is much appreciated. (2005), Stefan Peter-Hansel heading towards Dakar as the rally leader. And then it all went wrong. What was he thinking this morning as he chatted with his Volkswagen rivals? It was certainly to be a day of potential nerves, but for some, there was no pressure. Robbie Gordon checking out the cockpit of the Schlesser buggy. Very different from the Hummer. And a chance for the locals again to enjoy the annual spectacle that is the Dakar Rally. So what about Stefan Peter-Hansel then? Nerves? Well, no. There was a very sensible plan underway, and that was to take absolutely no risk whatsoever. Belt and braces, the approach. Somebody coming from behind? Let him go. It's a Volkswagen. And another one. A little wave of thanks from the co-driver's seat. But it wasn't a day without incident. Peter-Hansel 11th on the stage. Lost more time perhaps than he might have wanted to give away. Navigation was not easy on today's 14th stage. The penultimate day of the Dakar did have him wandering around a little in the trees and through the villages. Was history going to repeat itself? He could afford to lose some time, but not too much. In the end, the piste was found and the drama was quickly over. But it was not a day for panic. Luc Alphon chasing him, second overall, and 7th on today's stage. Just a little more pace, perhaps a few less navigational jitters, but Alphon perhaps, as last year, resigned to the fact that only divine intervention is going to rob Peter-Hansel in 2007. Well, the Sentinel wouldn't have worked on the donkey carts, but Carlos Sainz didn't encounter too many on his way through the stage. Again fastest, his 9th Dakar career stage win, his 5th this season. And barring mechanical woes, what might Volkswagen have been thinking today as they headed into Dakar? Janil de Villiers, last year's runner-up in the overall standings, he was 2nd on today's stage, and Carlos Souza made it a Touareg 1, 2, 3. They certainly showed that again they have had the pace to challenge the Mitsubishis on almost every stage. What they haven't had is the good luck. 4th position, a stage winner on this year's event, a real landmark in his career, Nasser Al Attiyah, and it was a big year as well for the BMW X-Raids team. 5th today, Robbie Gordon. He's had some lows, but he's had some highs. Another stage winner. And he'll come back next year better prepared and ready to try and take the win from Mitsubishi. Indeed, with every passing year, not only do the crowds get bigger and better controlled, but the pressure on Mitsubishi as the benchmark in the competition increases. Mark Miller, 6th fastest today for Volkswagen, still lies overall as the best race Touareg. And he will finish comfortably in the top 5 at the end of tomorrow's stage, God willing. Jutta Kleinschmidt said before the start of the event in Lisbon 2 weeks ago that she just hoped for a little good luck. Maybe she should have written her letter to Santa Claus a touch earlier. Good luck's the one thing she hasn't had. Pace aplenty and determination. But for these sports fans, just seeing the cars out on the stage was enough for this week. Jean-Louis Schlesser, another stage win this year. Today, just a little too tight, too twisty, too dusty for the Schlesser raid buggy to really make its mark. And the reason he was 9th instead of in the top 3, a puncture. A rarity on these roads, but annoying nonetheless. And rounding out the top 10, the Portuguese. Barbosa having another great run in his prototype pickup. And with more learning under his belt, he could well be a front runner in 2008. It was a high-speed and dusty day on the stages for the fans and for the crews alike. But in the end, no mechanical woes, no intervention. Everything went according to plan. And the navigation, not only important for keeping on the right track, but also for keeping on the right side of the safety line. Counting down to the radar area, this crew getting their speed right down to 30 kilometers an hour through the village. And although the human kids were well controlled, the animal ones perhaps weren't quite so interested in the cars. But even here on the run into Dakar, somebody is going to have a problem somewhere. No major damage done. Leading the T2 class as they head towards the Senegalese capital, Yun Mitsutashi, the Japanese, and his rookie co-driver having an excellent run through Africa. But not everybody found it smooth sailing today. Pick a route, any route. There are loads. The Bowler and the Peterson White Lightning buggy choose separate paths. Confirmation then, a Volkswagen 123 on the stage ahead of the BMW and Robbie Gordon's Hummer as the Mitsubishis pushed the cruise control button nice and early. Peter Hansel and Alphon 1 and 2 with Jean-Louis Schlesser make it a Francophile top 3 ahead of Alataya and Miller's Volkswagen. Complicated stage, said Carlos Sainz, certainly in terms of navigation, and starting in front didn't make it any easier, that's for sure. Quite narrow, and you can see that from the consequences on the car. But apart from that, everything was fine, and co-driver Michel did an excellent job. Unfortunately, in the last 50 k's of the stage, I got blocked by my teammate Mark Miller, so we had to slow ourselves down, and I think that's probably why we didn't win the stage. I bet Carlos Sainz last night in the bivouac that I was going to win, and unfortunately he won the bet, but I got no regrets. It was out of my control, I think, today. Remember this stage last year, we had a lot of detours through the bushes, around the villages, and today it started again. And mercifully, we found the right route pretty quickly. But you know, when you get lost, you don't know if you're going to find the next route soon or whether you're going to lose 20 minutes like happened last year. So, hugely stressful day today.